or he can go.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Bonjour. My name is Gregory Pokorny from Langara College in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. So it's a pleasure to be here. Pleasure to present about studies in British Columbia in the west coast of Canada. And I have about 30 minutes to present. So thank you for your attendance, and I will get started. And if you have any questions, feel free to write in the chat box. You can write in French, and I think it's being monitored, and I can answer questions at the end of the presentation. Or if there's some very specific questions, please come to our Langara College kiosk or booth, and we can answer your questions there. My marketing assistant, Somas, is at the booth right now, so we can answer your questions later. Okay, so I'll get started. And so Langara College is located in Vancouver, British Columbia. And if you're familiar with the geography of Canada, that means the west coast of Canada. And Vancouver is the third largest city in Canada after Toronto and Montreal. But it's located quite far from those two cities on the west coast of Canada. And Vancouver does have the nickname as Hollywood North because of many movies, television, film, animation, all being filmed in and around BC and Vancouver, and also known for mild temperatures. And when I say that, I'm talking about compared to other parts of Canada. In the winter months, average temperature is 0 to 5 degrees. May seem cold compared to where you are, but compared to other parts of Canada where it's -10, -15, then 0 or 5 degrees is quite a bit warmer. So Vancouver is a very multicultural city. Over 20% of the population born overseas and now make Vancouver their home. And the median age is around 42, and it has a very good employment rate in the province. So there's a lot of jobs, and especially coming out of the pandemic, there'll be more jobs as well. So it does have one of the lowest unemployment rates. Okay, so I will talk a little bit about Langara and specifically about the college. It is a public community college, and what that means is public means government funded. That means that the government funds the college, and students that study there are able to work part-time during their studies. And when they finish and get their Langara credential, when they graduate, they are eligible for the PGWP. And when I say PGWP, that means post-grad work permit. So most of the programs at Langara could be 2-year diploma, 2-year associate degree, 2-year post-degree diploma. I'll talk about all these programs, but when you graduate with that 2-year diploma or post-degree diploma or associate degree, you are eligible for a 3-year post-grad work permit. So we're right in the center of Vancouver. This picture that you see there is the downtown. You can see the tall buildings, the skyscrapers. You got the mountains to the north. You got the ocean. So it's right on the coast. It's a port city, and we have this kind of slogan: you can start here at Langara and then go anywhere. So that previous picture that I'm showing you with the downtown, and then if you look on this slide, you can see where Langara is located in relation to downtown. So you have at the top of that map, you have the downtown, you have Stanley Park, and then you look at the map, you can see that black line going north and south. That black line is part of the SkyTrain line, the metro line, and you can see from the downtown and then at the bottom, you can see the Vancouver airport. Now, if you follow that black line, the SkyTrain line, you can see there's a West Broadway campus, and then you see the main campus about halfway down. So that is where the main campus of Langara is located. It's 17 minutes by SkyTrain to downtown Vancouver, 25 minutes by bus to UBC, 15 minutes SkyTrain to the airport, and we're located in a very quiet residential area. The good thing is you really cannot get lost when you take the SkyTrain, because as you can see from the picture, the stop for the Langara College is actually Langara 49th Avenue. So that's where you get off and you walk 5 to 7 minutes and you're on the campus. So the location is quite convenient and excellent and very accessible by public transportation. So Langara does have quite a long history. It was established 1970 originally as part of VCC and then became Langara in 1994. 23,000 students annually. Any given term, because we have 3 semesters a year, there are about 16,000 students, and about 1/3 of those students are international students coming from over 90 countries. So we get a lot of questions at our booth, and when we talk to students, when we get emails and questions by students and parents. Why should you consider college, or what are the benefits of this? And I've listed some factors here to consider when you're looking at college or university. And as I said, Langara is a community college. So some of these factors include the choice or flexibility. Many students maybe don't know what they want to study right after high school. So they can find out, take courses, what they like, find out what they do well, what they don't like. And the other thing to consider is adaptability. Coming from a high school, then going to a school, post-secondary school, sometimes can be, it's a different culture, different teaching methods, different education system, but we do keep the class sizes relatively small. So at Langara, most of the classes are 35 students or less. Science classes, 20 or 25 students or less, because it's lab. Another factor to consider are the grades. And when I say grades, I'm talking about open access. I'm talking about the grades from high school. So Langara works on an open access policy. So some courses, they do look at the grades, they look at the GPA, but in many cases, for many of the programs at Langara, as long as you've finished high school and you meet the English language requirement, then you can gain admission. Even if you don't meet the English language requirement, you can start with the Langara EAP to improve your English and then go into regular studies. Also, we have when we talk about course load, we have 3 semesters a year. Students can take courses during those 3 semesters. They can load up more courses, they can take less courses, but they can spread them out. So there's a lot of flexibility there as well. And finally, the investment. And when I talk about investment, I'm talking about tuition fees. So college, for example, Langara College is more affordable than the bigger universities. And if you see this next slide, you can see a comparison. And these are all institutions in British Columbia. And this is for the business program, so from last year. So you can see here, this is the tuition fees that international students will pay to attend one of these institutions. And you can see the tuition is quite different depending on the institution. So 51,000 at UBC, 33,000 at SFU, 24,000 at UVic. For the same courses, because you can transfer the same courses you can do at Langara, just under 19,000. These are all in Canadian dollars. So if you're doing 1 year or 2 years at a college like Langara, and then transferring to UBC or SFU, you can see the savings that you're getting in your tuition fees. Okay, so just some pictures of the campus, and there's the aerial view. You have the golf course behind the Langara golf course, and then you have the college. You can see all the houses. If you see that picture, at the very top of the picture, you can see the tall buildings. That is where the downtown is. So you can see that it gives you an idea of the proximity and what the campus looks like from the aerial view. So it's a very picturesque, and as I said, located in a very residential and a nice setting. So here's the campus map, and you can see, you got the A, B, C building, D, daycare. The library, of course, attached to the T building, which is the tech building for all the science related courses, gymnasium, daycare. There is a medical clinic on campus. So there's a rotating doctor and nurse at all times, which is quite rare for schools to have their own medical clinic and access to doctors. So any kind of medical issues can be dealt with. Cafeteria, coffee shops, and so on. Okay, so I'll turn my attention to the resources for students. And one of the most important centers on campus is the Co-op and Career Development Center. Now, many of you know about, you maybe heard co-op or work term or internship. In Canada, normally we call this co-op. So this means working as part of the program. And many of the programs at Langara do have this co-op option. So, sometimes it is mandatory, sometimes it's optional. It's full-time paid work in your area of studies. So if you're studying business and you're in the business school and you have co-op, you may go work for a company, and you can see there that it's usually 16 weeks or 300 hours, at least 300 hours. You get a chance to apply the knowledge that you've gained, develop those professional skills, and you get that work experience, Canadian work experience. And if you do have a part-time job at the same time, you can still do that. The Co-op and Career Development Center, they have a lot of workshops, career coaching, resume building, review, interview practice, networking events, job fairs, career fairs, and so on. Okay, scholarships. We get a lot of questions about scholarships, and what I can tell you right now is we do not have an entrance scholarship program at Langara, but we will have one very soon. It will be announced by the end of the year. It will go into effect for September 2022. More information will be on our website by the end of the year. I can tell you they're not fully funded scholarships. They will be in the range of $5,000, and they will be for academic achievement, academic based, and you have to apply before you apply to Langara. But that's about all I can say. But the scholarships that we do have are for the current Langara students, full-time students, domestic or international. And these are posted in every term, almost every department. They range between $1,200 and $2,000 per scholarship. But as far as the entrance scholarship, as I said, it says no entrance scholarship now, but we will be announcing one very soon. So please look at our website for more information on that by the end of the year. Now, accommodation. Langara does not have a dormitory. There is no residence, there's no dormitory. So all Langara students have to stay off campus. One option we do have for students is homestay, and we have our own dedicated homestay department. So it's not a third-party company, it is Langara staff. They actually do the homestay for Langara College, for the Vancouver School District, for the Burnaby School District. So this is like matching the student, living with a family, maximum 2 students in a house. Each student would get their own private bedroom, and then you share the facilities. So it's a good way to learn about Vancouver, Canadian culture, practice English, and so on like that. Room and meals are provided, and you're looking at I believe it's $950 per month. So they try to match the student with the similar interest as the family. All the houses have been vetted. They've been there. They've been to the house to make sure that it's livable, not too far from campus. It's within 30 to 45 minutes of the campus by public transportation. So it's not like 2 hours or 3 hours away. So that is an option. And if you do apply to Langara and you're looking at this option, you let me know. And then I put you in contact with the homestay department and they arrange everything. So we have a lot of campus and virtual support, on campus, in person, writing, research, study skills, a lot of counseling, personal counseling, academic counseling, career counseling, mental health counseling, like that. And so a lot of counseling is available to the students in person and online. Langara does participate in sports. The three sports are basketball, soccer or football, and golf, and for male and female. So these are all student athletes. If you do try out for the team and you make the team and you're part of the Langara team, sports team, then there is significant savings on your tuition. It's not an athletic scholarship, but it is a significant savings on your tuition. But you would still have to meet the academic requirement, get the visa, come to Canada, come to Langara, then try out for the team. And if you made the team, then they would adjust your tuition fees. Okay, so getting into the last part of the presentation here, and this is the programs at Langara. And just one note about the pandemic. So the last year and a half, we've been doing it online, but from September, like just 2 months ago, from the September 2021 semester, we have back on campus, in person, delivering the courses in person, face-to-face. January 2022, May 2022, September 2022, we are planning the same, delivered in person, unless something drastic happens. But you can always check our website for more information about that. Okay, so for the programs at Langara, it basically comes down to where do you want to go and what do you want to do? So we do have these type of programs. I'll talk about each of these a little bit more detail, but we have university transfer. So starting at Langara and then doing 1 year or 2 years and then transferring. Bachelor's degrees, we do have 3 bachelor's degree programs for international students here at Langara. We have career programs, these are 2-year diploma, and we have post-degree diploma programs. When I say post-degree, this means postgraduate programs. And these, the main requirement is you do need a bachelor's already. And then we have Langara English for academic purposes. Because we have an English proficiency requirement, the students that may not meet that requirement, they can study LEAP, Langara EAP, and improve their English enough, because there's 8 levels, and then they can go into some of the regular study programs. So university transfer, as I mentioned, you start at Langara, you can transfer the credits because British Columbia has a very robust transfer system. Langara College is the largest transfer institution to UBC. So UBC is a very globally ranked university. I believe it's ranked in the top 40 universities in the world. It's a very big university, and it's also located in Vancouver. So because of the proximity, many students want to go there. And they will start at Langara, do 1 year or 2 years, and then many of them are successful in transferring to UBC. So this shows the pathway. You start at Langara year 1, complete you can do 2 years, complete an associate degree, then you go into year 3. So you can, it's either a 1+3 or sorry. So it's a 1+3 or a 2+2. So 1 year at Langara, 3 years at the university, or 2 years at Langara and 2 years at the university. You cannot do 3+1. You cannot do 3 years at Langara and then 1 year at the university. Sorry, I lost my screen here. Just a second, sorry.
Yeah, you can stop the share screen and then restart.
Okay, I don't know what happened there. Just a second. Sorry.
Alors, pendant que M. Pokorny retrouve sa présentation, juste pour vous inviter à mettre vos questions dans le chat. So while Mr. Pokorny is getting set up, I'm just asking that you can put your question in the chat. And I've noticed that there's already a couple of questions. Donc, continuez si vous avez des questions par rapport au collège Langara, la programmation, les passerelles, ce qu'il a décrit, soyez libre de mettre vos questions dans le chat ou en Q&A. Et vous pouvez mettre vos questions en français. On pourra les traduire pour vous également. Donc, n'hésitez pas, si vous avez des questions, à les mettre, même si vous les avez des questions en français.
Okay, is it back on there?
Yes.
Okay, sorry about that, everybody.
No problem.
Okay, so I know I do think I only have a few minutes left, so I'll just, but yeah, as I was saying about university transfer, so I'm not going to read all these, but you can see on the slide, these are all areas that you can see broad areas: arts, business, health, science, technology, humanities, social sciences. These are all areas where you could start your studies at Langara and get an associate degree and then do university transfer. We do have 3 bachelor's degrees at Langara. So that means you're not transferring, you're doing all 4 years at Langara. We have a Bachelor of Science in Bioinformatics. We have a Bachelor of Business Administration, BBA, and we have a Bachelor of Recreation Management. So those are bachelor degree. The 2-year career programs, these are 2-year diplomas. So you're not transferring, you're just getting a 2-year, you're earning a 2-year diploma, and then you're going into the workforce. So these are very practical education, hands-on learning. You know, some admission can be competitive and limited seats, but they closely related to the Vancouver job market. So a lot of these jobs, or a lot of these programs, students will graduate and then go into the workforce. So you can see everything from business, kinesiology, journalism, animation, early childhood education is a very popular program, and so on. We also have 1-year certificate. These are not post-grad certificates. These are just 1-year certificates. And keep in mind, if you do 1-year certificate, the post-grad work permit will be 1 year. But if you do 2 years, then the post-grad work permit will be 3 years. But you can see for 1-year certificate, education assistant, social service worker, film arts is very popular, and so on. Now, the post-degree diploma, we get a lot of questions about students say, I want to do a master's. And keep in mind, in Canada, masters are administered at universities. And as Langara is a community college, we do not have master's degrees. But what we do have is the post-degree diploma or postgraduate diploma. The main requirement is you do need a bachelor's degree. And you know, very practical. There's a work experience term, and these are cohort based and very popular programs. So we always advise to apply early. These are the 10 post-degree diploma programs. You can see business, marketing, accounting, web and mobile app has 2 programs. One is design and one is development. Data analytics is also very popular. Nursing practice in Canada, that means you already have to be a nurse in your country. So you would have to have current licensure, be a nurse, then you could apply for this program. It is not an undergrad nursing program. Supply chain and logistics is very popular because Langara Vancouver is a port city. So there's a lot of jobs in that industry as well. Now, we do have an English proficiency requirement because we're located in kind of the English-speaking part of Canada, and almost all the courses are taught in English at Langara. So you can see their IELTS academics 6.5. Most of the programs fit into category 2 or category 3. TOEFL 88 or 80. We are accepting Duolingo 110. We're accepting that for the next 3 intakes in 2022. But if you don't meet the English proficiency requirement, as I mentioned, we do have LEAP, Langara EAP. There are 8 levels, and each level takes about 7 weeks. This is quite rigorous. It's academic English, and it really prepares the students for going into regular studies and doing a program in English. So we do have this. It's a very popular English program for those that want to improve their English and then go into regular studies. We have a lot of, I just put here the high demand occupations in Vancouver. As I mentioned, some of these before: supply chain, film, business, web and mobile, nursing. And just quickly, you know, the BC government, they put labor market outlook, and over a 10-year period, 2019 to 2029, they foresee the over 860,000 new jobs in BC, with most of those jobs going to people that have some kind of credential, so diploma, certificate, apprenticeship, bachelor's degree, professional degree. So you're coming to Canada, and if you're studying at a university or a college, any of the schools that are at this fair, you know, you're especially in BC though, if you come, then you're graduating right in the middle of this window. Okay, so just finishing up here, admission requirements. We need, you know, successful completion of high school. You have to meet the English language requirement, any additional program requirements. We need scanned copies of your transcript. Usually PDF scan, it has to be PDF scan in color. Any kind of transcripts in another language, such as French. Then we need notarized English translations, also have to be scanned in PDF. Your English language proficiency and any other additional requirements. And for the assessment, we're a little bit backlogged now, but it could take up to 6 weeks. And then an email offer letter is issued. You meet the requirements, pay initial tuition deposit of $6,000 Canadian. And once we receive that, then the letter of acceptance is issued and you apply for the Canada Study Visa. You get the visa, that first $6,000 goes toward your first semester's tuition. If you don't get if it's refused, then we'll refund the full $6,000. So I know I kind of missed some time there because of the technical difficulty. Sorry about that. But, you know, I touched on all these points, why you could consider Langara and listed here. And I really thank you for your attention. But if you have any specific questions, please come by our booth. There is my contact information, gpicorni@langara.ca, and Somaz, my assistant, is also at the booth, esmerabani@langara.ca, and you can follow our social media channels. And thank you. I believe I came in there on time.
Yes, yeah. we may just put one question or qualification because we answered some question in the chat, but the main question was around the language requirement that if people don't speak English, they can do the LEAP program.
That's correct, yeah.
What's the requirement for the LEAP program so I can then translate for everyone?
So there's no requirement for that, like, because some students, maybe they've done an IELTS or they've done a whatever, like a TOEFL or Duolingo, and they didn't meet the requirements. So they would still have to have graduated high school though, and then they could just apply to LEAP. But when they apply to LEAP, they have to apply to another program at Langara. So okay. It's not just, you cannot just come apply to LEAP and get a letter of acceptance for LEAP. It has the letter of acceptance will say LEAP plus whatever other program, business or whatever, science, whatever they're studying.
OK. Alors, pour ceux d'entre vous qui ne comprenaient pas l'anglais complètement, ce qu'il expliquait, c'est que le programme LEAP est un programme de transition d'apprentissage linguistique. Donc, quand vous appliquez à Langara College, qui est un collège de langue anglaise, vous avez l'occasion de, vous n'avez pas besoin d'avoir de tests en anglais. Si vous avez un test, c'est correct, mais le LEAP, c'est un programme qui vous permet de faire une mise à niveau en anglais pour ensuite rentrer dans le programme qui vous intéresse. Par exemple, si vous voulez vous inscrire en business ou technologie ou santé, mais que vous n'avez pas le niveau d'anglais, vous faites LEAP et ensuite, une fois que votre niveau d'anglais est bien, vous continuez dans le programme. Et après ça, vous pouvez faire une transition vers l'université. Donc, c'est un programme en 4 étapes, comme je l'ai expliqué. C'est une année, les 2 années que vous faites à Langara College, ça fait partie de l'année académique.
Sorry, Solange, and just one other thing, you know, like once they apply to LEAP, then once they are admitted and they will do a LEAP assessment test, like English test, to find out what level they start in. So they'll do that at the beginning of the term. And there's 8 levels, so they may be placed in level 5 or level 6, and then they start in that.
Alors, ce qu'il expliquait, c'est que quand vous arrivez au programme, quand vous êtes admis dans un programme, on vous fait passer un test de niveau, mais ça, c'est après que vous êtes accepté. Et donc, le programme de LEAD a 8 niveaux d'anglais. Donc, à partir du test, ils vont vous dire le prochain niveau. Donc, si vous passez le test et que vous niveau 5, vous allez faire des cours d'anglais pour arriver au niveau 8. Quand vous arrivez au niveau 8, vous passez maintenant au cours académique. Donc, c'est sur mesure, en fait. They wanted to know the difference between the university and the college.
Yeah. So, I mean, as I said in my presentation, I mean, usually, like, I mean, universities have a lot of programs, you know, and as I stated, we at community colleges, we do not have master's degrees. So as I said, we have post-grad or post-degree diploma, but they're not masters, you know, and we do, of course, then no PhDs as well. So, but besides that, I mean, smaller class sizes, lower tuition fees, but, you know, they're both post-secondary institutions, colleges and universities, and, you know, we do have bachelor's degrees as well.
Alors, ce qu'il expliquait, c'est qu'en fait, le Langara College, c'est en fait au système canadien ici, il y a ce qu'on appelle collège-université. C'est-à-dire qu'après le bac, vous avez l'approbation de faire une formation technique. Donc, cette formation que vous faites de 1 à 2 années après Langara College, ça vous permet de transférer à l'université. Mais c'est un peu comme un BTS équivalent ou un DUT. Donc, vous faites 1 ou 2 années, ensuite, vous pouvez continuer pour avoir une licence ou un master. Mais eux, ils n'offrent pas de licence, un master, mais ils font des programmes de passerelle du collège à l'université. Donc, j'espère que c'est clair. I hope it's clear now for everyone.
Yeah, I just put in the chat, sorry, just quickly, I know we're out of time, but I just put in the chat box a link to our program guide, so anybody can, I don't know if that goes to you or goes to the audience, but maybe you can share that. That's just the program guide for all the programs and the requirements. And
that's great. There's a question in the chat about how long does the course last? It really depends on the course, I would assume, right?
Which course, LEAP or?
It depends on the program, how long. So I think that the slide that you showed, that will show you can do 1 year, 2 year, 1 plus 3. That's what they were asking about.
Most of the programs are 2 years, so diploma, associate degree, like that. But we have 1 year certificate, but we, you know, and bachelor's degrees are 4 years. We have 3 bachelor's degrees, but most of the programs I would say are 2 years.
Alors, donc, il disait que la plupart des programmes sont de 2 ans qui mènent à un diplôme, mais il y a également la possibilité de faire un programme d'1 an qui mène à un certificat. Et ils ont également 3 programmes de licence qui sont des programmes de 4 ans. Donc, je pense que c'est dans la gestion gestion des affaires, business administration, recreation management, il y a les programmes d'activités de loisirs, puis il y avait un 3e. Donc, ils ont 3 licences qui sont de 4 ans, mais la majorité de leur programme, c'est 2 ans, maintenant au diplôme. Okay.
Yeah, but if anybody has any specific questions on their own situation, feel free to email me or please come by our booth and we can discuss more. But really appreciate everybody tuning in, and sorry I didn't do it in French, but I really appreciate it, and thank you for your help, Solange, and sorry about the technical difficulties.
No, you're welcome. Alors, tout ce qu'il dit, c'est que si vous avez besoin de plus d'informations, vous allez les rencontrer sur leur kiosque. Ils seront à leur kiosque aujourd'hui et demain. et vous avez tout simplement besoin d'aller sur salle d'exposition, cliquez sur Langara College et là, vous êtes dans le chat. Mettez vos questions dans le chat. Même si vous ne parlez pas l'anglais, vous pouvez mettre vos questions dans le chat et ils ont des outils de traduction, ils pourront comprendre et répondre. Donc, thank you, Gregory, and thank you. We all just I'll be joining with you on your booth today and tomorrow. Okay. And I told them that even if they don't speak English yet, they can still go to your booth, and then you have a translation tool at your booth, so you can put the question in French, and then you can we can understand it and interact that way. So there's no worries.
For sure, they can write in French at our booth, and we can interact with them.
Exactly.
Okay, thank you, everybody.
Okay, merci à tous. Au revoir.
Au revoir.